Once your fields are logged into Fieldbook, we know where the field is, what's growing in it, and approximately at what stage. You're now ready to start your sampling program. We see people use the lens in their sampling program in three main ways. The first would be going on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, checking the same areas in the field for trends. The second would be right before and after the uptake of a foliar application, seeing what was the deficiencies before and are they solved with that application. The third would be more of a diagnostic, seeing to check one part of the field you're curious about, then comparing it to other regions within the same field. We recommend that one slightly less because you're not getting the context of the whole season. In any case, consistency is key. Try sampling in the same areas of your field at approximately the same time during the day to get steady readings throughout the season. Another note would be to avoid sampling 24 hours after a rainfall or 3 days after a fungicide, pesticide, or foliar application to not get any interference. With your sampling locations, we recommend being about 80 feet or 25 meters within the field so you're not getting any inconsistencies at the boundaries. Once in your sample location, you'll need to collect at least 10 leaves from the area. A good rule of thumb is your sample location should be large enough that you don't have to pick a leaf from the same plant twice during the season. This is typically about 6 rows wide and 7 meters or 20 feet long. Once you're at your sample location, it's actually pretty useful to mark out the region with either a flag, a pole, or some type of marking that isn't going to interfere with any tractor rows. This will help you find your field quickly when the next time you come around to take a sample. When collecting leaves, try to avoid any that have visible signs of damage or pest pressure. For corn, we'd be looking at the most recently matured growth, which is the first fully colored leaf to take and add to your sample. For corn pre-tassel, the most recently matured leaf would be the first fully collared leaf. It's to note that before V6, you typically have to collect the entire above ground portion of the plant if you're sending it to the lab. That's for that they have enough material to analyze on those early plants. Post-tasseling, you would be collecting the leaf that is directly opposite of the primary ear. The sampling protocol for potatoes would be looking at the most recently matured growth, which is typically the third petiole from the top, and selecting a leaflet from that. For canola, like any other crop, we're looking for the most recently matured leaf. This is typically the fourth or fifth leaf from the top. For example here, once you see a bit of separation from the stem, that's your leaf.
If you're going out taking many bags of samples, you might want to put a cooler in your truck. That way they stay cool while you go out and sample.
Once you have your sample collected, you can make your way to the side of the field. If you have the lens in your truck ready to go, you can scan them directly there and discard them next to the field, and then you're done. If you're collecting them in groups, bring them back to the one location to sample with your lens or to send to a lab. It'll save you a lot of time to label your bags, your sample bags, ahead of time. This information needed is typically the farm, the field, and the date. And make sure it's correct both on the bag and within the lens system so we can match them at a later date.